Further, there are certain rules that we must keep in mind while investing. So can you throw some light on that?
Whenever you start investing, first thing is you should get a financial plan done. First thing always rule of 100. Investment, we follow a thumb rule. We say 100 minus your age is what you should take risk. 72 divided by rate of interest will take number of years for your money to double. What do you mean by that?
What does I'm wealthy mean? How do you define wealthy?
It's called as net worth rule. How you calculate how much should be your net worth as on today to call yourself as wealthy. If my net worth is at least 2 crores, I can say I am wealthy.
Hello, wealth seekers. Welcome to Wealth Talks, your one-time financial solutions for all your wealth needs. I'm your host Nupur Shah, and I'd like to introduce you to our special guest today, Mr. Yogesh Mamane. He heads the wealth department at Cautilya Capital, Bangalore. He is also a certified financial planner, a CFA level 1 with over 20 years of experience. Hi sir, welcome back.
Hi Nupur.
So in the previous episode, we discussed the basics of financial planning and we discussed the factors that we must consider before we invest.
Correct.
But we also hear that there are certain rules that we must keep in mind while investing. So can you throw some light on that?
Whenever you start investing, first thing is you should get a financial plan done. Okay. Once you are done, there are certain factors which we discussed in the previous episode, the factors that we should consider before investing. And there are few rules also, one should know it before you invest also. It's always better to know all these rules. Now there are around 6-7 rules, so let me throw a light on that. First thing always we say rule of 100. So what do you mean by that? So generally in investment we follow a thumb rule. We say 100 minus your age is what you should take risk. Now suppose you are 30, okay, and you want to accumulate a corpus of 1 crore 20 years down the line. Okay, now since your age is 30, so what we say is 100 minus 30 is 70. So 70% of your corpus you can accumulate investing into riskier instruments. You can accumulate investing into mutual funds, direct equities, PMS, AIF, all those things. And another 30% you can accumulate investing in instruments which are safe, which can beat inflation. Whatever market happens, it should deliver fixed returns. So you should be risk free. So that is what we say rule of 100.
So the younger I am, the greater the risk that I can
You can afford to take more risk.
Understood.
Okay.
And does that decrease as I grow older?
Yeah, definitely. You should reduce it. Okay. Then second rule what we say is rule of 72. Okay. So generally we say 72 divided by rate of interest will take number of years for your money to double. What do you mean by that? Suppose today you are invested in an instrument which gives you 6% return. So 72 divided by 6 is 12. So that means if you get a return of 6%, in 12 years, your money will be double. And vice versa. Now coming to rule of 114. This will exactly tell you within how many years your money will get triple. Okay. Now assuming you get 6% return. Okay. So 114 divided by 6 is 19. So that means within 19 years, your money will be triple. Now going forward, another rule is rule of 144. Okay, so that is quadruple. Quadruple means 4 times. You learn 72 is double. Then 114 is triple. 144 is 4 times. So suppose you are invested in X instrument which gives you 8% return. So 144 divided by 8 is 18. So if you get 8% return, in 18 years, your money is quadruple, which means 4 times. So these are few rules. Okay. Then going ahead, nowadays a lot of people, you might have heard in your family also, people say lot of inflation and all. Okay. And they keep saying, यार आज का 10 लाख रुपया Okay, 10 साल के बाद में will it be 10 lakhs? It will be peanuts. But again there is a rule how to calculate that. Now assuming you have 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so we say rule of 70. 70.
Okay.
Okay, so rule of 70. Today assuming you have 10 lakh rupees with you. And if the inflation is 5%.
Okay.
So 70 divided by 5 is 14 years. What do you mean by that? So you had 10 lakh rupees. If the inflation is 5%, in 14 years, value of your 10 lakhs will be 5 lakhs. That is what is called as rule of 70. Easy method. Okay, which you can easily do that calculations. You need not have any calculator. But a lot of people keep discussing, यार inflation मेरा पैसा खा जाएगा. Today's money will not be that much. It will be peanuts. So how do you calculate? This is called mota moti rules. Okay, so you have to understand all those things. Okay,
Makes me feel a little better about my money.
That's it. So these are few rules which one should know before investing.
Thank you for shedding light on these. These were truly very insightful, and I clearly feel better about my money now. But as someone that I've just started my first job, I'm constantly hearing people telling me you should save up for retirement, you should have a retirement plan, and somehow, how do you go about it? Like, how does one start to do that? Is there any rule for that?
Correct. That's a good question, especially for young people. Not only young people, but for everyone. But generally in investment, we say you start early. Now, since you are young, if you start early and if you give time for your investments to grow, you will really build up a very healthy corpus and may retire early. Okay. So generally what we say is basically longer the term, higher is the compounding effect.
Okay.
Okay. So generally we say whenever you start your first job, you get your first salary. Let's take 30,000 rupees. So what we say is at least 10% should go towards your retirement.
Okay. So
I should not touch.
25.
Right.
And my
Said 30,000.
30,000.
Okay.
So how do I, is
so
there a
10%.
calculation?
10% of 30,000
Oh, okay.
is 3,000 rupees. So start a SIP in mutual funds. Start a SIP which is monthly till you retire. Assuming today retirement age is 60.
Correct.
So and every year you increase these investments by 10%. So today, this year you are starting with 3,000. Next year 10% on that. So 3,300.
So it increases as
Huh.
we go.
So every year if you increase that investment by 10% and if you stay invested for 35 years, this will at least grow. If you get 10% return also, that will come to around 3.4 crores. And if you get 12% return, that will come to 4.7 crores. So that will be the huge corpus, healthy corpus, which you will not even have to bother. Start early, stay invested for long term, longer the term, higher is the compounded returns. So that is the power of compounding.
Thank you, sir. That was very insightful. Now I know what the first thing on my to-do list tomorrow is going to be. Because considering how much our expenses are growing and shooting up every single day, this seems to be very important for us.
Correct. That's correct.
So, sir, we talk amongst our friends every day and everyone's saying something along the lines of, I'm wealthy. And does that mean how much salary they're earning? What does I'm wealthy mean? How do you define wealthy?
That's a good question. I think everybody keeps talking a lot on that. Okay. So generally see, for that also we have a rule in investment. So it's called as net worth rule. How you calculate how much should be your net worth as on today to call yourself as wealthy. It's not hard and fast rule, but that's how we define. Okay. For example, you take me. Today I am 40. Okay. And my salary is assuming 50 lakhs. So 40 years into 50 is roughly how much? 20 crores. Divide that by 10 is 2 crores. So at this moment, if my net worth is at least 2 crores, I can say I am wealthy. My net worth is good. So that is what we we say. Okay. But again, there are people say you should take 10 as divisor or 20. Generally in India, a lot of people are following 20 as divisor. So 40 into 50 lakhs, which is 20 crores divided by 20 is 1 crore. So if it is 1 crore also, few people say no, I'm wealthy. So it depends on what we say. But generally, I personally follow divisor should be 10. If today my net worth is 2 crores, I can proudly say that at least I'm wealthy now.
Understood.
Yeah.
So thank you for all the information that you've given us today, which just makes us more aware about the basics of financial planning, of what factors we need to consider before investing, and more importantly, the rules that we must keep in mind while we're going into investing. I also know that now I have to start saving for my retirement fund, and I learn whether I'm wealthy or not. So thank you for everything you've shared with us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's all for this episode. I learned a lot from Sir today, and I'm hoping that you guys also took something back. If there are any other wealth-related topics that you would like to have more information about, make sure you leave them in the comments. That's all for this episode. This is me, Nupur, signing off. Sayonara.